to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I'm, of course, your host, the Natty Teacher. Hopefully you have enjoyed this week's uploads. A couple upper body days, push day, pull day, all that kind of fun stuff. But now on to the nitty gritty. The stuff that people want to forget about. When they shouldn't. Because, folks, today is a leg day. Specifically quads. A little bit of glute and ham in there. Sure. And obviously with squatting patterns and leg pressing patterns, of course we're going to get a little bit of stimulation in the hamstrings and glutes and all that kind of fun stuff, no doubt. But primarily, the goal is to annihilate some quads. Now, I'm 2 meals deep. It is about 10:45 in the morning. We're on our way to the gym. I got my little pre-workout extra carbs and sugars here, okay, in the form of some medjool dates. I took the pits out of these bad boys. I got 40 grams of them here, about 120 calories, extra 30 to 35 grams roughly of unbelievably quick digesting carbs and sugars. I highly recommend it. Dates are a great pre-workout snack. They're very easy on the stomach, and they are, again, very, very easily broken down and digested carbs and sugars. Now, I only throw that in on leg days. Just to have that extra little bump. So I'll have that in probably about 10 or 15 minutes, smack that down, which is about the halfway point to the gym. I got my intro workout with me. I'll be sipping on a little extra dextrose today, a little over 30 grams of dextrose in there with my essential amino acids and, of course, 5 grams of glutamine. Popped the pre-workout a few minutes ago. Pretty fueled up, man. Pretty fueled up. 2 pretty large meals, intra, little snack to have before. I'm feeling pretty good. Now, I wanted to actually share real quick, for those of you who care, I don't know if any of you will, it's kind of a personal thing, but I received my feedback from my show. So here's what happens, okay? And this is, at least, I can only speak on the NPC here. I can't speak on other federations and how this works, but when you compete, of course, you have the option to receive judges' feedback. You can do this in 2 ways. You can either stay for the entirety of the show. So let's say your class competes first and you have 4 other classes after you, and you just wait till the very end of the show, and then you can go up and talk to the judges afterwards, and they can give you direct feedback there. Or you can do what I did, which I think is probably the option more people nowadays will stray more towards, because I would have been at the show. I had people, family at the show and all that. My daughter, who is 15 months old, was at the show. So I'm not going to stay for another couple hours when, we're going to go eat and she needs to get home and we got to still drive home, get her some food and, all that kind of, all the things about being a parent and all that, taking care of your kid. Needless to say, we didn't have the time to just stay an extra couple of hours. Wasn't in the cards. Okay. Was not in the cards. So we did not. Instead, we left, and what you can do is you can actually reach out to the judges directly. So that's exactly what I did. I reached out to the judges. I actually went through the promoter, I should say. So I spoke to the promoter. I attached all my stage shots once they were posted. I attached all of those and put those in the actual email. And then he took that, all the stage shots, and forwarded it to the judge or judges. And so actually just a couple days ago, I think 2 days ago now, is when I received that feedback. And it was awesome. And not just awesome in the sense of very positive, but awesome in the sense to actually get an idea of what the judges saw. They're the ones who are, up close and personal with the competitors. They have literally that eagle eye view of you on stage. And like I said, I was very, very pleased. Now, obviously, I'll be honest with you, okay? The feedback in which the gentleman who, was one of the judges gave, very nice guy, by the way, very nice guy, and nice in the sense of very in-depth, thorough feedback and very positive and very, very uplifting, motivating type feedback. It was just it was great. And like I said, very detailed, very, very detailed. Okay. So, this gentleman basically said that there was a few points that I did very well, seemed, talked about how I have a very good X frame and how, we'll start with kind of the positives, I guess. He made it very clear to me, and this was a very motivating thing to hear from somebody who has an eye for this and judges, at that level and potentially even a higher level as well. He made it very clear that I have a bright future in the open classic physique division, and that I definitely, should continue to pursue that and, work towards, improving and, all that kind of stuff and all that. But again, the moral of the story is he did make it very clear that I have a lot of potential. And so that was awesome to hear. And it's awesome to hear that from somebody who actually, that is their, role. They are the judge, instead of just me motivating myself or your family or friends or whatever, saying, oh man, you look great. And all that's wonderful. But to actually hear that from a judge is a very uplifting, powerful message for me, and very positive message for me. So just adds to it, makes me want to work even harder. So the one thing, or I should say the two things that this guy pointed out that needed the most attention, so to speak, and I 100% agree, was first of all my lower body, my legs. My legs, for me, I have always held kind of that very old school classic physique look, where it is the much not as proportionate to my upper body size legs. Very much the old school 70s and 80s, obviously you work legs and you want to build nice defined legs and, relatively large legs. But the focus is more on the midsection, the upper body, and the larger muscular, beach body kind of, bodybuilder look. And, with modern classic physique, that ain't gonna fly. I gotta have a balanced lower body. I need to bring in much more detail in my legs, continue to not only add size to the legs, but also just overall more separation and symmetry. So that was definitely some feedback. And then also just a tad bit more conditioning. Just overall levels of conditioning would be ideal. And those again were two things that I 100% from the stage shots and just from seeing myself against other competitors at that level. And obviously, that is the largest natural show in Michigan. So it gave me a good eye of hey, these are the cream of the crop for what the state of Michigan has to offer for natural, competitors here. What do we got? And I did notice that the guys who were, taking the classes and winning the overalls, their conditioning was very good. Very, very good. And mine, I would say, was good, but not very, very good. You know what I mean? Again, my conditioning was definitely tight, and he talked about how my abs were separated, and how that was categorized as very good to excellent as far as overall ab separation and all that. And so that was really cool, because I trained the crap out of my abs this prep, so that just motivates me to train them even more and keep them looking good and hard and dense and all that in the off season here, as muscular as possible. But like I said, definitely pointed out some areas in which I can work on. I absolutely am going to take this gentleman's feedback and and run with it. And I couldn't agree more. I'm not one of those people that when I get feedback, it's oh, no way, I was perfect. I was far from perfect. There was some stuff you talked about with posing and all that, how I could continue to get better with that. And I agree. With mandatory and also with my actual routine, absolutely can lock those things in even more. I was pretty confident with my mandatories, I will say that, but I definitely can be better for sure. So like I said, I was super, super stoked to see the feedback. It was, like I said, very, very positive, and that meant a lot to me. And again, it just kind of reaffirms a lot of the goals that I have with competing and continuing to move forward with that. So it was awesome to get that feedback, and now I can, again, these were areas I already absolutely, recognized, and it's areas that I will absolutely continue to improve upon in the off season. So I'm super pumped, super excited. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be sick. So yeah, but that was a rant, a lot of chatting there, a lot of words. So if you stuck around, I appreciate it. If you are a competitor, please, whether it's NPC or WNBF or, the INBA, PNBA, or, whatever category of either, drug tested or, open, non-drug tested shows you're competing in, please get your feedback. Get your feedback from the judges. It is unbelievably helpful. They're only there to help you. They want to see you succeed, whether it's your first show or your 100th show. Get your feedback, okay? Anyways, for legs, you guys know the drill, man. Leg A day, which means it is a quad focus day. We're going to start with some leg extensions. keep that tempo in the mid-range, really pump the crap out of the quads to get started. Then we'll move into our barbell paused back squats, just sitting there in the hole, soaking up the pain, soaking up the burn. Then we got hack squats, leg press, and then we will start to close out with some barbell good mornings and some calf and ab work. The calf and ab work, you guys know, will not be recorded, but I promise you, it's there. All right, leg extension top set coming at you right about now. Promised, coming at you hot off the presses. Leg extensions, man. We did 2 sets of at least 20 reps here. You'll see that once I kind of get to that burning feeling. You get that burning feeling where it just feels like you can't push anymore. You're like, what the heck? Well, that's lactic acid buildup, man. That's your body saying you should probably stop. And you can. There's plenty of times where you could probably stop. But for me, that's where I like to just pause for a second, recalibrate the legs, get them going again. So we're using this as a priming exercise for our larger compound movements. We're pumping as much blood into the quads as we possibly can. We're getting those knees nice and lubed up, lubricated up, so this machine can function when it gets into the real difficult stuff, okay? So we did, again, 2 sets of at least 20 reps here. Essentially just getting a nice pump in the legs, getting everything nice and opened up and ready to rock and roll for our compound work, which we started our compound work with the most humbling and most challenging type of barbell back squats I've ever done in my entire life. I'm glad I was able to get a better camera angle for you guys here. You can see that I am sitting so far down. We're controlling that retraction, doing like a 1, 2, 3 type count, and we are sitting in that hole. We got a little 2x4. Elevating the heels allows me to get just that extra couple inches, and every inch counts, you know that. Just allows me to get those extra couple inches and get really deep into that squat, and then we just sit there, man. It's painful, it burns like a son of a gun, but I'll tell you, these squats have humbled me, but I can already tell you that my quads are getting stronger. So we did 2 top sets here with 225, 1 set of 6, 1 set of 5, and then we dropped down to 185 and hit that for a solid set of 10. So adding reps to essentially every set from last week already. Strength is moving quickly. Can't wait. It's awesome. Then, we did 3 working sets of some hack squats, again with a full hard pause at the bottom. Guys, please, you can, if you like doing those pulse type squats where you get down to 90 or just below 90 or maybe even just above 90, depending on how you're built, and you just pulse back up, and you're seeing great progress, well, then don't listen to anything that I'm saying. But if you're somebody like me who has struggled with, making consistent leg gains for years purely because I just wasn't making it hard enough on myself, these types of squats are thebomb.com. The bomb diggity, man. The bamboozled. I don't even know what that word meant. That just didn't make any sense. It made no sense. But regardless, these hack squats, man, sitting in the hole of that squat, allowing those quads to fully stretch. Oh, man. Awesome stuff. So we did 3 working sets here. We were able to add 10 pounds already to last week's 2 working, top sets, I should say. And we were able to do a rep match with those. So we hit, again, 3 working sets here, and then we did a back off set that was, I think, a set of 11, so a little bit higher reps. Then with the leg press, okay, we did this one for 2 sets of 15. We're able to add 20 pounds to last week. And still stay in that 15 to 20 rep range. What you'll notice if you go back to the first exercise till now, all of the exercises I've done, the rep ranges, are completely different for all 4. Leg extensions were 2 sets of at least 20. So very, I would argue high reps. Barbell back squats were the complete opposite. They were 3 sets of 5 to 10, and the top sets were 5 or 6 reps. Hack squats, the top sets were sets of 8 with a back off set of 11. And then leg press, again, we're kind of going back up the hill and doing 2 sets of 15 reps, okay? Find rep ranges that work for you with particular exercises. The amount of reps you need to stimulate your, quads through leg press is probably not the same as the amount of reps you need to stimulate your quads through a barbell back squat, okay? Or through, a leg extension or whatever. You got to find the rep ranges that work for you. Don't just go in and do 4 sets of 6 to 12 reps for every single set or for every single exercise when you don't really know if that's going to be effective. So find those effective rep ranges that work for you and then progress within those rep ranges, with those particular exercises. That's the best advice I can give you. Okay, so we did 10 total working sets of more quad bias work here. After this second set, this is the first set. I did another set with this weight as well of leg press, again, really getting that deep stretch. I was absolutely fried. The tank was empty. It really was. But we had to keep going. We did an additional, calf work, some additional calf work, and
workout complete. Woof. Man, I'll tell you. Phenomenal workout. Of course. 20 out of 10 workout, man. But again, it's just one of those workouts where you leave the gym and you just question, like, damn, why the hell do I do this to myself? Holy smokage. After that last set of leg press, I'm done. I could just feel it. There's a certain feeling you get in the gym, and it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. It's an exhausting feeling, but it's a great feeling that you get. And if you're really, really like in tune with your body and have been lifting for quite some time, it's a feeling sometimes it's hard to achieve. And it's why you always want to keep going. But there is this feeling you get that is literally just pure emptiness is the best way I can describe it. Like your tank, boom, it has been sapped completely dry of any remaining fuel. Any remaining fuel. You are just done, man, done. And after my last set of leg press today, it's exactly where I was at. Now, I still had calves and abs, and I rocked both those out, of course. But I'll tell you, after that last set of leg press, boy howdy, I was tanked, dog. Tanked. Anyhoozle, yeah, great workout. Ended up doing 10 total sets of direct quad work, or I should say more quad biased work. Felt great. 10 sets of quads. What was it? One total, I guess you could say, collective set of calves where it was just like 100 reps with 2 plates on the leg press machine. Just kind of, again, more of those pulse reps. Tomorrow when we get back into the gym, we'll have a day of more focusing on the stretch reps. I've found that I've already seen some progress on my calves, kind of combining both of those, where it's like some of them are a little bit quicker reps, kind of just pump. Still decent stretch, but just pumping. And then some of them are like where you actually get into that deep stretch for the calf and just sit in there. Hold it 3, 4, 5 plus seconds, or 3, 4, 5 plus count. Get that stretch and then pulse up and then sit in the stretch again. Regardless, phenomenal workout. What did we do? 3 sets of 20 plus reps, or actually 3 sets of 21 plus reps on decline crunches, just body weight, getting a really good stretch, nice control on the way down, getting a nice crunch on the way up. Felt great, man. Like I said, great workout. I am exhausted. I still do have a half-hour cardio. I think I will do that, maybe before my next meal. We'll see. I did just have my post-workout meal, so I do have some fuel to refuel. But yeah, I probably will for today. Just based on our schedule for the rest of the day, I probably will do my cardio in between this meal and my next meal. So yeah, half hour on the bike. Anyhoozle, yeah, got a Janet Jackson concert tonight. Happy birthday to my father-in-law. Happy early birthday to my father-in-law, Rich. Hope you enjoy your day. Hope you enjoy this concert tonight. I know I will. Thanks for the ticket. It's awesome. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. So I'm gonna get my Janet on later on. Have some fun. Tomorrow we have our push A session. Gotta love it, for sure. Push A session in the morning. So get up, get a good pre-workout meal in, and then go from there. So join me tomorrow for that. And for today, I am the Natty Teacher, and this episode of Summer School is over. And I keep screwing up the end. This episode of Summer School is over. I am the Natty Teacher, and Summer School for today is out. I'll catch y'all on the flippity flop.